We're at the elderly care home in Semipalatinsk, or Semi, a city 150 kilometers from the main Soviet nuclear weapons test site. Praskovia is 85 years old. She's a former warehouse manager who used to work in a small town bordering the restricted area in the 1950s.
We were curious, so we went outside to watch. When the explosion happened, it looked like a large bowl of smoke with black smoke and flames coming from the top. Then it rolled into a ball and a smoke column went up, and at the top the mushroom cloud appeared. Then the soldiers came and they made us leave the street, and they were shouting, "It's not allowed, it's not allowed." But we'd already seen everything interesting. And then everyone got health problems. I've had headaches all my life.
After a wave of popular protests, the Semipalatinsk site was closed in 1991. It had carried out 456 secret nuclear tests.
Even senior leaders of Kazakhstan were not allowed to know about the ongoing tests until 1990, until Gorbachev's glasnost and the opportunity to speak. And as a result of demands from the people, who already knew and understood the complexity and gravity of the issues, I took the only right decision, despite difficulties at the time. The military-industrial complex of the Soviet Union was against it, and the Soviet leadership was also against it.
The shutdown, however, couldn't reverse the environmental damage to the region, which has more than 1 million inhabitants, most of which are villagers. Radioactive fallout from nuclear blasts have given Semi and neighbouring villages abnormally high rates of cancer and birth defects. Local oncology centres are screening tens of thousands of patients, trying to detect and treat tumours at early stages. People in the area are still predisposed to breast and pulmonary cancer.
I live in an area close to the test zone. Last year I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had to have an operation and radiation therapy. I didn't see any explosions myself, but my parents talked about the effects of the site on people. My husband got cancer too. He's already dead.
Scientists stress there isn't enough research to link each individual case to radiation. However, it's clear that the nuclear legacy keeps haunting younger generations. Infant mortality here is 5 times the average for developed countries. Embryonic defects are widespread, and cancer strikes teenagers as well as adults.
We have patients who are 15 or 18, even younger, but unfortunately they die very quickly. Their parents lived in the regions close to the site, and of course the parents are very upset that they didn't get sick, but their children did.
Dozens of little children abandoned by their parents live in the local orphanage. A fifth of them are mentally or physically disabled. These conditions have become increasingly frequent in the last few years.
We're getting more and more disabled infants. Each passing day their number increases. Environmental factors work slowly. We can see their effects in 10 or 20 years, in the first, second, third or fourth generation.
Innocent victims of atomic weapons keep suffering 20 years after the last explosion. A terrible legacy of a ruthless past.